Last video I covered Train, but in this video we'll check out some of the Easter eggs and also go through the patch notes right after Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is an automated service that lets you trade skins instantly for a fee, sign up now, and get up to $5 bonus. Simply add items from your inventory, then find skins that matches your current balance. Site offers live support 24/7. You can also top up your balance if you're missing a few dollars, and there's a lot of skins to choose from. Visit my link down below to get to Skins Monkey. Let's start with damage prediction, which is now officially under the patch notes, and it's something Valve has worked on behind the scenes. The point of damage prediction is to make the game feel less laggy, but the obvious drawback, which Valve has clearly stated, is how it can end up giving you wrong information. This from ProStatX shows a good demonstration. When it works very well, and looks like there's zero lag. But when it doesn't, it gets you killed. The safest options is to keep these off. Enabling the ragdoll prediction should be fine, but expect future updates for this very soon. It's an interesting quality of life feature, but also an interesting approach since it doesn't actually change anything behind the scenes other than to give you the impression that there's no lag. Let me know what you think of this approach down below. The blind animation has changed to now accurately represent the player's visibility level. And the second animation note focuses on fixing a case where legs weren't animating correctly while taking damage, which honestly is hard to notice. Under graphics, we have added ambient occlusion for the first person legs, which is meant to make them look better integrated to the environment, even if it doesn't show so well in this example. We also have performance optimizations for Molotov and incendiary effects. I was checking to see if this fixed the FPS problem with throwing them in the air, and this update seems to not have addressed that specifically, so it might just be better in general. We then get to the grenades section, and this part of the update has an absolute banger. But first, they added the axis labels to the grenade lineup reticle as a nice quality of life update. Be sure to enable that in the options. But the grenade preview camera now shows the results of jump throws when you hold down jump. This is a game changer, since in the past you could only rely on previews for non-jump throws. This change also makes a lot of sense now with the previous update to stay in position after a jump, but oh boy, this is going to make things so much easier now for finding better lineups. Speaking of lineups, Valve has introduced a completely new feature or system for lineup demonstrations, which they call map guides. There's an example of this running for Train right now that you can load up yourself. It shows a couple basic lineups, which is honestly really cool. But you can create these yourself on any map with so-called annotations, and they even get saved under a new folder now, which has the same name. So in theory, you could create map guides, then send them to a friend, or use them for video tutorials. It's a really cool feature. Then we get to the miscellaneous stuff, which starts off with new game settings for the radar. Lummy made a post about this and Valve has responded. This allows for some interesting customization and better radar visibility. Again, another great quality of life update. The rest of these changes are mostly fixes and slight adjustments, but then we get to the new maps. I've already covered Train. You can click on the screen right now if you want to get to that video, but Train has been added to competitive, casual, and deathmatch, which I predicted correctly. This means Train isn't ready yet for Premiere, which is the current map pool, and I'd be surprised if they even decide to move it there before the major. But for the Easter eggs of Train, there seems to be a lot here, so let's just focus on the highlights. Yes, as you guys pointed out, the old versions of Train can be spotted in this remake. You remember the bird boost from old Train? Here's a little tribute to that. Also, notice how Pop Dog is called Long Dog now, and there's even a dog to express the long corridor that Valve added to replace the ladder width. On the station at T-Spawn, this person has translated what it says, which might reveal the future destinations. What we see is Lake, Cobble, Cache, and Bank. Pretty exciting. But let's also quickly talk about the new community maps, which by the way have replaced the old ones such as Thera, Mills, Assembly, and Memento. But they decided to give special treatment to Pool Day since it's still possible to play in Arms Race. But the roster is the return of Basalt, which you can play on Casual and Deathmatch, Eden, a new map which you can also play on Casual and Deathmatch, Ballet, a new Wingman map with a really cool roof layout, and another Wingman map called Whistle, which is sort of a mini version of Train, which makes sense to release for this update. Fun fact, community map releases along Train was in fact rumored, since a couple suspicious patch notes for the maps appeared out of nowhere. But then we get to the final map adjustments. Ancient, Italy, and Mirage has some fixes, then Overpass decided to just take up half of the update page with all of these changes. But you could basically summarize them into the water now being gone. And with the water being gone, Valve opened up the railing here to allow people to land without fall damage. And let me know your thoughts down below. Peace.